and welcome to On and Off the Field. We have just completed week 1 of the XFL 2020 inaugural season. I think I said that word right. We are here and we're ready to celebrate and see if the XFL is going to work or not. And I say we because Fred is back for week 2.
Oh, hey.
He's back for week 1, but his second week. Guess I gotta clarify
consecutive
that.
Week as co-host.
Yeah, second consecutive week, and this is much better. We're in a much better spot than we were because we did it through Skype last time. And if you thought the audio was bad, that's because it was. The audio was garbage, and I apologize for all of that. But now we have this sick setup in like the spare room of my house upstairs. We got 2 mics. We got this like $160 interface thing. We went all out.
Oh yeah.
We're making this an official thing.
Yeah.
We're here.
We're doing it.
We're doing this for you.
Yeah.
We're giving you the best quality content possible. So you're welcome for that. And it's the first time with it, so actually I say that I'm going to give you the best quality content, but if it ends up sounding terrible, well, it'll be fixed by next week.
Tune in next week.
Yeah, we'll tinker, but I feel like it's going to be good. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
So, on and off the field, go and like us on the Instagram and the Facebook and the Twitter, because I think this is the first week I'm actually announcing it.
Yeah, I think it is.
We can do the giveaway. It's official. If you're already following on Facebook and Instagram, maybe not Twitter. I don't think I put on Twitter. But if you're following, you know that we're doing the giveaway, and you have to do the 3 things. Fred, what are those 3 things?
Those 3 things are liking us on Instagram and Facebook, going to iTunes and leaving a review of the podcast, and telling us what you think. And then also going to the onandoffthefield.com and sending an email, and in the email it has to say, "All hail the Jockstrap King."
I had him do it because I didn't remember what the 3 things were. I had to pull it up on my phone, and he's like, "Oh, I know what those 3 things are." I was like, "Oh, all right, well, go for it. That's fine."
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you go to onandoffthefield.com, you just got to scroll to the bottom, and there's a contact us section. That's the email portion of it. So you just got to, go there and just say whatever you want. You can say, hey, your podcast sucks. But as long as it includes "All Hail the Jockstrap King" in it, you'll be entered anyways. So,
That's the key word there.
And I initially announced 1 winner, $50, really? But now there's 3.
Oh, dang.
There are 3 winners. And those first 2 people, it's up to you if this really matters to you or not. The first name drawn out of those, we're going to do it live on the show, probably maybe first week of March. We're going to give a lot of time for people to enter this. First name drawn, we will give you a nickname that will forever live on this show.
Nice. Are we going to have them call in so we can get verbally give them their nickname?
Absolutely.
That sounds like a good plan.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you can give us some details about you.
Yeah.
And we can make sure we give you the proper nickname to go forward. What's your nickname? You got a nickname, don't you?
Mine?
Yeah.
Durf.
Durf.
It's just Fred backwards.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
That was his name for our entire bowling league last year. It's good. It's good. I don't have a nickname. I do have a nickname, but I don't like it. The second name drawn, Fred and myself will autograph something for you.
Oh, yeah.
That autograph is worthless. You cannot sell it for anything, but we will still do it.
Whatever you want us to sign, and we'll sign it.
It could be literally anything.
Just not legally binding.
And also it's an illegal substance. I can't. I don't want to be. Don't send me your crack pipe to sign. And the third name, everyone knows this one. $50 to your favorite charity or foundation, and you can come on the show and talk about the charity or the foundation, or we can do it for you, whatever you prefer. And if you want, we can also give you a nickname and autograph something for you as well.
Yeah,
only if you want.
I feel like third name drawn. I feel like it's the grand prize winner.
Absolutely,
you get everything if you want it.
Yeah, you're the grand prize winner of the random drawing.
Yeah,
just good for you. You're just really lucky. Oh, yeah. I would never be that person. No. I'm not a lucky person.
No.
So far, I've received no emails, but it's only been out there for a little while. So, you guys got time. I'm not going to rush this. Get it done by next week. No, you got time. We're gonna do it like a month from now, whenever. I'm just gonna be posting it. You got all the time in the world. Alrighty. So that's the giveaway. You can head down to offthefield.com, like we said, and you can go to the listen page, and you can listen to the podcast from there, and you can hit up all the links on there and subscribe to your favorite channel. And you can also like the RTF Sports Network on Spreaker, and On and Off the Field will be on there Thursdays at 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. They got like a commercial now. I posted that on Facebook. It's super cool.
Oh, yeah?
Did you see it yet?
I don't know if I have.
It's really cool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, someone else made it from the show, but
nice.
It's cool. It just like goes from show to show.
Yeah.
It like shows their logo and then like what time they're on.
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
like action-y. It's cool.
Nice.
I like it. They did a good job.
Sweet.
So, yeah, we're going to dive into the actual show now because that's what we're here to do. So, obviously, it's the NFL off season, and we're only, 2 weeks into the off season?
Yeah.
Not a lot's going on. And in my opinion, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. The NFL, it's a good time for them to stay quiet.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The XFL's getting going. Major League Baseball has like their thing going on with, they got training camp starting up, but they got the scandal. The best thing the NFL can do is just not be there.
Oh, yeah. Yep, definitely. And all the other sports can have their time right now.
Yeah.
Because basketball's up and running right now, getting heated up. College basketball is heated up right now.
Anything with an orange ball sucks, in my opinion.
Well,
college basketball has been a disaster this year.
That is very true. Hockey's going right now.
Hockey's fun, though.
Lacrosse is on right now.
I like lacrosse. Syracuse won their season opener.
Did they?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's the only lacrosse team I follow.
Yeah.
I really don't follow lacrosse. I just like to hang out with Syracuse, but they're pretty good. They're like ranked 6th in the nation.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty good. But, so the NFL is really quiet, and I gave them my own personal quota of one piece of news a day. That's what I'm allowing them. That's their quota, that you can come out and say one cool thing that happened today. Mm-hmm. And the thing that has been happening yesterday, at least, was the Chargers and Phillip Rivers, to no one's surprise, have officially parted ways.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm blown away by that news. Nobody saw this coming. Except, everyone knew it was going to happen, 4 weeks ago.
Well, at least they didn't drag it out like the Cowboys did with Jason Garrett. So
that's true.
I mean, at least they're no, yeah, we're moving on.
I think they did it in a respectful and fair way for he was there for 16 years. I mean, that's...
Yeah, because he came in with Eli and Roethlisberger, so yeah, it's been 16.
And the only question is where will he land?
We'll find out next month, maybe.
Maybe not. Yeah, what is it? Free agency and tampering all start March 10th?
Free agency...
18th?
I think it's the 18th.
Is it 18th?
Yeah.
It's one of those weeks.
I think it's a Thursday or Friday, I think. It's a weird... It's the end of the week, I think.
18 sounds right.
I think it's right after St. Patrick's Day. So if it's St. Patrick's Day, then the 18th would be a Wednesday.
Wow, you really know your St. Patrick's Day trivia.
Only because I asked for certain days off next month already, so...
And that's one of them?
The Sunday before, yeah.
So you got your stuff figured out. You're good to go.
Oh, yeah.
So no one knows where he's going to land. You can speculate all you want about Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Cam Newton, Marcus Mariota, Bridgewater. You can speculate about whatever you want. Nobody knows what's going to happen. None of these people are guaranteed to land anywhere. I mean, people have said Tom Brady can go to 5 different teams. Yeah. And I also saw that even people in the league have no idea what he's going to do.
Right.
You can speculate, and you can make a strong case for your argument, and you can make it sound good. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, no one knows what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's very up in the air. I mean, that's the thing about February, too. It's so much speculation. And it's why? Just find something else to talk about and move on.
Well, we have plenty to talk about this season, at least.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's XFL, and there is also Project Codebreaker. That's like some James Bond stuff right there.
Oh, yeah.
Project Codebreaker. But when you dive into it, it's just super nerdy garbage.
It really is.
I love it, though. It's so amazing.
The fact that they got an intern to do it, too, it's
no paper trail.
No paper trail. No,
Unless you got college credits.
Well, yeah.
Do you think
But
he
it's
made a
like-
report about it, like to his college professor? So what did you do with your internship at the Houston Astros? I made them Project Codebreaker, where they got to cheat and steal signals. It was awesome. A+.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would be fine with this entire scandal. Like, okay, cool. So they made an Excel program where they can jot down the different signals that batting or that the pitching coaches do, like hat tip, shoulder rub, titty touch, leg slap, whatever the things are,
Right.
and they diagnose it in this Excel program, and it's supposed to tell you what the pitch is supposed to be, and they can buzz Altuve's chest before the pitch comes. That's like the general consensus, or they can hit some drums, whatever.
Wasn't it something like smashing trash cans or something?
Yeah,
like
that was the
slapping
other
them or
one.
something? Yeah.
So they just cheated on so many levels. Because before it was the camera in the outfield,
Right.
and then they were banging on drums, and then they were buzzing chests, and now you got Project Codebreaker. With every single passing day, I feel like Major League Baseball has to take their World Series away.
Oh yeah. I think it's got to be at least the Astros.
You have to take it away.
I thought the Red Sox were caught with it too.
No one cares, though.
Well, yeah.
That was
true.
so minor. Like,
Right.
if it was just the Red Sox, like, that's all we would talk about was the Red Sox.
Right.
But they look like they committed, a misdemeanor, while
Right.
the Astros over here killed the president.
Jeez.
Like, that's basically where we're at right now with Project Codebreaker now coming out. And
Yeah.
the absolute worst part about all of this, in my opinion, is when this first broke, the front office said, we knew nothing about this. This was all the manager, this was all A.J. Hinch, this is all the players, we knew nothing. Now, the Washington Post reports on Project Codebreaker, this all started in the front office. This is where it began. They started it. And they lied from the beginning saying it wasn't them.
Right. I feel like it would have had to been from them. Like, who else is going to think of that?
They
That
just
makes that much money.
It's just amazing how what people think they can get away with these days.
Right.
There's technology,
Oh yeah.
and people want to be famous, so they're going to talk. So I don't know who they interviewed to figure out about Project Codebreaker, but I'm sure they went and found that intern.
Oh, they found somebody.
I mean, I didn't read the article. I don't know who they interviewed,
Yeah.
but someone talked, and I just love it. I love all of it. And the Astros season is going to be a living hell.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Good luck going on the road.
Any road game is going to be terrible for them.
Did the Astros have a game in LA this year? Did the Dodgers?
Ooh, that would be.
They're going to need like professional security
Are
guards.
they going to put it in a neutral stadium, not LA?
They would probably get shot entering LA. Someone would
would.
tip over those buses.
Oh yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, because the Dodgers have been both times.
It was the Dodgers with the recent cheating.
Yep.
And then they also, beat the Yankees in the World Series? Or no, they beat them in the ALCS or something. And that's why Yankees fans are mad.
Yeah.
And then they beat the Dodgers in the World Series. So, but they beat how many teams throughout the regular season, though? I mean, everyone's mad.
I mean, they basically cheated against everybody, so that's a wash of a season. I think they're not World Series champions.
And then there was a Blue Jays pitcher, I think it was Blue Jays, who, this guy played against the Astros, pitched against the Astros.
Yep.
Like 4 pitches, 4 home runs. He was benched, sent down to AAA, and then released. He is now suing the league, or the Astros are one of them, for $31 million.
What?
For because he got sent down and released, and his career ended against the Astros, who were apparently cheating when he was up there pitching.
Oh.
So he's like, well, my career earnings would have been 31 mil. I'm suing you for that because you ruined my career for cheating.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's nuts.
I thought I don't know if he's going to win that, but hey, Godspeed, man.
Yeah.
I think he has a case, but
Oh, I think he does too.
I don't think he's going to get 31 mil out of it.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take our first break. We'll be right back with On and Off the Field. Project Codebreaker. I want to come up with a cool project something name for the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Like Project Podcast Breaker. Something cool like that. I'm going to go hire that intern.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go find that intern to give the podcast a cool name. But for now, we're stuck with On and Off the Field is the name.
Yeah.
So we're back, and we're going to talk XFL now. If you came for the XFL talk, this is your time because we're going to go hard in the paint on Week 1 XFL news. Fred, give me your rating out of 10. What do you, after
10?
Your initial Week 1, you saw it. It finally happened. XFL 2020. Out of 10, what do you think?
My personal rating, I feel like it's like an 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah, I feel like... So I was like doing other things while the games were on. So like I wasn't entirely focused. But there were certain points that drew me in. And it was interesting to see how all the new rules played out. And I feel like that was... I feel like the XFL did really, really well for Week 1. But I feel like next weekend's games, I feel like I'm going to be able to pay more attention to them. And I feel like I'll be able to really get a better rating for that.
I had a pretty similar rating.
Yeah.
I mean, I was teetering between 8 out of 10 and 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, I probably could do 8.5. I was trying to do whole numbers for some reason.
Oh, I'm just going for decimals.
8.5 is a good number. I think I might steal it. I originally was going to say 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved pretty much everything that happened.
Right.
The only reason it's a 9 out of 10 is because there was a couple of levels of play issue.
Yep.
Like, I realize, if you haven't accepted this yet, like, the XFL is going to be pro football, it's going to be the NFL. Like, no.
No.
This is a semi-pro
totally
league.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's the AAF.
Right.
Because, one, this has a little bit more talent, and two, it's more entertaining.
It definitely has better hits than the AAF, so.
Fontez Burfict is looking for a roster spot right now. He's like, I can do that.
Oh, jeez.
I'm allowed to kill people? Let me in. He's knocking on Vince's door. Let's go.
Oh, man.
That's Vince McMahon, if anyone was wondering who Vince is. So, yeah, level of play issues. But it wasn't terrible because there was 3 of the games were blowouts. Like, they were kind of close in the first half, and then they got blown out in the second half. And then the only game that was close was the St. Louis Battlehawks against the Dallas Renegades. And, it was 15-9. I wasn't even looking at my notes. I just knew that. That's pretty good.
That is really good.
It was 15-9, and it wasn't a good defensive game or anything. It was just I just thought it was a bad game. The offense has just struggled tremendously.
Yeah, and I think that was the game that I tried to sit down and really focus on.
Bad one.
And it was not a good one to do that.
Bad pick.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
The earlier game on Sunday, I was doing my taxes, and I was listening to it and trying to peek up and look every once in a while and just kind of watch it for a little bit. But then I finished everything, and I'm like, all right, now I can sit down and really watch some XFL, and not a good choice.
Yeah, Sunday's games were just worse than Saturdays in general because the Vipers got blown out. They couldn't do anything
they
all
were
day. I think, we'll get into the games.
Yeah.
I was about to go hardcore on that game right now and talk some things, but we got stuff there. But so we're going to talk a little bit more overview of the XFL. So we both got our ratings. It was about an 8.5. And what was your number one favorite thing about the games themselves, or just the overall feeling? What was your number one thing you honed in on and you were like, yes, that's amazing?
I mean, for me, I thought it was kickoffs. I thought kickoffs were number one. Just because it's so different, and I feel like it's so much better. It looks weird, but I feel like next weekend it's going to look completely normal. After week 1, it's completely normal now. And then if the NFL can adopt that, great. If not, their loss.
I think the kickoffs are a huge win. I listed it as my number 2, but I mean the kickoffs. The number one thing the XFL's goal was, and it's obvious to anybody, the XFL's goal in creating these rules was to attack the weaknesses of the NFL.
Oh, absolutely.
And one of those weaknesses was the kickoff. The NFL adopted this player safety first thing, and instead of being creative like the XFL, they just said, hey, we're going to move the kickoff up to the 35-yard line and create more touchbacks.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just turned one of the most exciting plays in football into the least exciting.
Right.
Now it's touchbacks, or now they can, if the returner takes it out of the end zone, he's not even making it to the 25 where it would come out to.
Right.
The XFL, being creative, they put them on the kicking team on the 35, the return defense on the 30-yard line, 5 yards away. The kicker kicks it. No one can move until the guy catches it.
Yep.
Player safety, check.
Oh, yep.
Exciting, check.
Yep.
Like no touchback, so you're guaranteed a return almost, check.
Yeah.
It's a huge win.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing negative you can say about that, in my opinion. I mean, I tuned into the game on Saturday, the Seattle Dragons game, and the reason I tuned in, well, I was going to watch all the games anyways, but the main reason I was excited, I just wanted to see it.
Yeah.
I wanted to see them lined up like that. And it was super weird.
Right, but it works, though.
It does work. It works extremely well.
Yeah.
Well, my number one, that was my number two, was the kickoffs. My number one best thing was the hot mics. Hot mics everywhere. Yeah. Hot mics on the coaches, hot mics on the players, hot mics, you got the sideline reporters, which congratulations to Pat McAfee for being a sideline reporter for that. Pat, did you listen to anything? Pat McAfee slayed it.
Oh, yeah.
So now that's another loss on the NFL. The NFL never allowed Pat McAfee to do it because they know he was a wild child.
Right.
That's their loss because Pat McAfee's the XFL king now. He's doing that. Congratulations. And then you got the hot mics up in the review booth, which is like my number 1.5 is just the review officials in general and how they tackle reviewing.
Like I feel like it's so cool to see that transparency of like how an official is talking with someone up in the box about how a play happened, what they're looking at. Like in the NFL, you don't get that. So like, is it just a judgment call, or are they actually doing this in the NFL? But now we're seeing it in the XFL, and I feel like it's a whole, I don't say different appreciation for the reviews, but for like the play calls with the refs. But I feel like the XFL being able to go in and review those plays just made it better. Like, yeah, they messed up. Let's go back and fix it.
Yeah, and that was apparent from game one.
Yeah.
And like near the end of the game, Seattle Dragons, it's the perfect example because it was the first example. Seattle Dragons looked like they came up short on a 4th and short in the running game. He got hit. He tried plunging forward for the first down, and they called him short. They went up to the booth. Like, they just did it. No coaching challenge, no nothing. The review booth was just like, this is a game-altering play.
Yep.
We're not entirely sure if he made it or not. They just reviewed it. And guess what? They put the mic on him. They put a camera up there. He has a little Xbox controller.
I saw that.
If it works, use it.
Yeah.
Dude's playing Halo in between reviews, but he's got an Xbox controller up there doing different camera angles. He's doing slow motion and fast motion, watching if he made it past the line, and they got the call right.
Yeah.
The Seattle Dragons ended up fumbling the ball 2 plays later, and it didn't matter. But hey, they got the call right.
Yep.
And we got to listen to everything he said.
Yep.
He's talking about, all right, there he is. His knee's not down yet. Looks like he's on top of a player. And then you get to hear him call it down. All right, we're going to call him first down from like the 4-yard line. And you got to hear everything.
Right.
It's a level of transparency. Again, XFL attacking the NFL's weaknesses.
Yep.
It's a level of transparency that the NFL cannot touch right now. That they're not even close to reaching.
Right.
They just... You don't like how the NFL does things with the refs. You just think they're making up whatever rules they want. Here you go. This is what we're doing.
Yep.
And it's amazing. Zero question on anything.
Right.
You get to see what they see. You get to hear what they hear. Then you get to hear what they say to each other. I absolutely love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I just had a thought. I'll say the one
Thoughts
thing...
move fast.
They do move fast.
Like speeding bullets.
Yeah.
It's gone now.
Yeah, it's gone.
Anytime you have a lapse of judgment or you're just thinking, I'm just going to go Project Codebreaker. And while you're thinking about it, that probably won't work. Probably just make it worse. But I got one more. It's not really a number 3. But, first, I guess going to hot mics. my favorite hot mic moment, and this is a clean podcast.
Yep.
So, right in the first game also, Seattle Dragons, they get in a little bit of a scuffle.
Yep.
You know, they end up throwing a flag for unnecessary roughness after the play. And I think it was the Seattle Dragons, one of their offensive linemen,
Yep.
were coming over to the sideline. And they just got called for a penalty. Shove a mic in his face.
Yep.
What happened there on the end of that play? This guy. Oh, you know, we're just out here. You know, things got a little. People started saying some things. You know, we're just trying to come out here and do our beep job. And, oh no!
Oh.
Who's getting fined for that?
Oh boy, yeah.
You could tell though. Is right after he said that, they cut the audio.
Yeah.
Like they cut the audio off just to make sure he didn't say anything after that. But I'm sure what channel was that? ESPN got a nice fine there.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
I feel like that was something they had to factor in that could happen.
Oh yeah, yeah. They have a whole budget set aside for people swearing on one of those mics. Yeah, definitely. Because as soon as he said that, I looked at Kayla and I was like, "You're shoving mics in people's faces as they're coming off the field after things happen. Like they're gonna say stuff,
Oh, yeah.
especially offensive linemen.
Yep.
They don't care.
No.
They're gonna say whatever they want." And he knew what was happening. He said it anyways. But one more another piece I liked was one of the major issues with the 2001 XFL was people thought it was too closely related to the WWF, which is now the WWE, and people thought it was pretty much all in essence fake.
Right.
It's rigged, you know, it's just another show that Vince McMahon's putting on, whatever. It's just no one cares about this. We want football.
Right.
All 4 games. Did you even hear Vince's name mentioned?
Nope.
Was there a camera on Vince McMahon's face?
Didn't even know he was there.
He wasn't. He stayed as far away as possible from these games because he does not want to repeat. He doesn't want anyone thinking, I'm here to make this a show about me, anything like that. He stayed away and he let the football be football.
Yeah.
And it was incredibly successful. And not one person saying, you know, it's a show, it's a repeat, Vince was there. There's no controversy coming out of this week. There's nothing except positiveness.
Right. I think it's great.
People can speculate about the future of the XFL,
Yeah.
which we're about to do.
Oh yeah.
But coming out of week 1, there is really nothing that you can say that was negative unless you want to talk about the level of play more.
Right, and I think that's you gotta get over it. Everyone who says that has to get over it. Like,
It's semi-pro.
yeah.
90% of these players you've never heard of before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like P.J. Walker threw 4 touchdowns.
Don't know who that is,
Cool.
but now I do.
Yeah, P.J. Walker, cool guy, huh? Yeah, great. But you have easier access to people like P.J. Walker
Yeah.
because, like, unlike in 01 when all they had was NBC, now they have...
What do we have? ABC, all the Fox Sports channels, ESPN. So I mean, pick a channel and you're gonna get a game this weekend.
And especially with new technologies. I mean, I watched the Seattle Dragons game because I was doing housework. I had it on my phone on ESPN.
Right.
You don't have to be in front of the TV.
No.
You have, you know, ABC on the go or whatever their app is called or something. You got like Fox Sports Go, which I know is a thing.
Yep.
And you got like watch ESPN on your phone. It's all on your phone. And I think that is probably one of the main reasons they had 3.3 million people joining in.
Yeah.
As soon as the Seattle Dragons game went live, they had 3.3 million people, eyeballs on screens.
That's pretty good.
That's an incredible number for, and when we come back from our break, we're gonna dive into maybe that 3.3 is not the most impressive number. It is an impressive number, but we'll talk about that as soon as we come back from our second break of on and off the field. See you in a bit. Welcome backed on and off the field. You are halfway through our show. Congratulations. And we're going to keep this train rolling with more XFL garbage because we're going to talk a little bit about how this year's 2020 XFL is a little bit different than 01. We hit up on, they have the more broadcast stations, makes it easier for people to watch. They have all the new technology. But we said that they came in with 3.3 million eyeballs on screens. They also had 17 to 18,000 people in stadiums.
That was impressive.
That was, I mean, I saw a tweet from someone that said they made more in ticket sales in their first week than the AAF had their whole season.
Wow.
Which, I mean, the AAF was, 5 weeks long? So, I mean, it's not like it went a full season, but still, it's like 5-6 weeks of AAF, however long it was, made in their first week. Mm-hmm. It just tells you about the hype.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Now it's all a matter of if they can sustain it. And I know, Fred, you have viewership stats that you want to say.
Yeah, so the viewership this weekend matched the same number as the AAF last year. But the big thing that we're going to be with the media and all the higher officials of the XFL are going to be watching is that the AAF dropped 50% in week 2 for viewership, and that's actually projected for the XFL. I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's a lot of hype, and I think it's going to continue on, just with the amount of rule changes. But yeah, that's the viewership statistic that expected this weekend coming up.
I mean, I see where they're coming from with a 50% drop off because it already happened. You know,
right.
I'm sure it happened back in 2001.
Yep.
And it happened with the AAF. Why wouldn't it happen with the XFL?
Right.
I think week 1 of the AAF, I watched the first game and I couldn't handle anymore.
Yep.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was just watching worse NFL.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. It was pretty much the same rules, same everything, just worse play. The thing with the XFL, the play's a little better, at least, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think, you had Cardale Jones, who was exciting. PJ Walker was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I think Matt McGloin played really well.
Yeah.
I think Elijah Hood played pretty well. I think some defenses really stood out. I think it was better play than the AAF, and it's just more entertaining with all the hot mics. So we've already discussed all these different things and the rule changes. The question now remains, as we enter week 2 and for the rest of the season, can this league survive on lesser play, but hang on to that entertainment value? Because that's my concern, is people tuned in week 1 to see the kickoff. I know I already said it.
Yeah.
They wanted to see the hot mics. Mm-hmm. They wanted to see the reviews. They wanted to see things.
Right.
Now they saw it. Was it enough to bring people back in week 2, week 3, week 4? Is it? And I know for a fact, Vince McMahon, Oliver Luck, and all the people that threw money at this are sitting up in their offices, all in a kumbaya circle, holding hands and praying. They are hoping the level of play gets a little bit better.
I think it will.
Yeah, I would agree.
I feel like more routine, more regularity with the games. I feel like they're going to get more comfortable with their plays. Like, I know they've been practicing for a while, but I feel like in a live atmosphere, I feel like I can see it getting better. It's the same with the NFL. Week 1, they're always rusty.
Yeah, you never know who's going to win Super Bowl week 1.
Yeah.
The Vipers were not favorites, but the Vipers were, I think 3rd favorites to win the championship this year in their preseason rankings or whatever, and they scored 3 points.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I mean, maybe they're still the favorites. Who knows? Maybe they're still top 3 because, it's just week 1, man. They could win 9 more games.
Right.
No one knows.
Yeah.
Dallas Renegades 0-1. I don't know if they were favorites, but Landry Jones didn't play. Landry Jones with Bob Stoops. That's his boy. That's what everyone was waiting to see.
Right.
But he didn't play, so they only scored 9 points.
Yeah.
I think a difference where you're going to get a lot better plays because there's a lot of pedigree among these coaches.
Yeah.
Like I said, Bob Stoops,
Yep.
Pep Hamilton.
Yep.
Not sure about Jim Zorn yet. Jim Zorn is an interesting character. When the Seattle Dragons fumbled that ball to basically seal their fate as a loss, Jim Zorn just goes, "Oh gosh darn it." That's literally what he said. "Oh gosh darn it." I'm gonna need a little bit more excitement from you there, Jim. I'm gonna need a little bit more fire. I'm a Seattle Dragons fan. That's announced now. That was hard. That was hard. That was hard to listen to. I don't know. I question him, but they have a lot of good coaches in this league. They're going to work with these players, and week 1 is not. Some of these teams started out slow. Even the DC Defenders started out slow.
Yeah.
Houston Roughnecks started out slow. They were both down around halftime. 13-12, 17-12 for the Roughnecks. The second half comes out.
Yeah.
Firing on all cylinders.
Oh yeah.
And now maybe it just takes the rest of those teams 1 week to get going.
Right.
Another week of practice.
Yep.
Plus, most of them were the home teams that won.
Yeah.
Now the other teams will be home. I think some of them, at least most of them will be home, I think. I'm not sure how the schedule breaks down. But now you flip it around. The other teams go on the road. Maybe it's different. Maybe everyone will be 1-1 this week. Who knows?
Who knows?
Anything's possible. But, anything's possible, but we'll never know what's going to happen next week with viewership or anything like that until, guess what? Next week. Once the numbers of next week come in, we'll have a much better feeling of the survival chances of the XFL.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll survive. Just one aspect of it surviving is the amount of stuff people are buying as fans. Like, the Houston Roughnecks gave away free T-shirts for all the fans coming in, so that the stadium looks correct with the fans. But people are still standing in line and getting all the other stuff. Like, people are standing in line for $90 jerseys. Like, people are in it. Like, this is gonna survive.
I was gonna buy a Seattle Dragons hat, but I don't want to be that guy that did buy the jersey. Like, what's that guy with his AAF jersey doing right now? What's he doing with that?
It ain't worth anything.
It ain't worth nothing. But I also think the XFL will do better. There's just more hype. When the AAF happened, no one was talking about it. No one cared. But for some reason, maybe it's all the rules. Maybe it's because there are a couple players you recognize. The XFL just seems to be doing better week 1.
Yeah.
That's my eyeball test.
Yeah.
I think it looks successful so far.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
Alrighty. It's that time. It's that time that I let you know that I've been drinking something. This entire time. It's Disaronno Italian liquor with cranberry juice, and it's really delicious. I don't think it's very high in alcohol because it's just a liqueur, so it's probably like 20%, like probably not even that. I have no idea. I didn't look, but I'll tell you though, it's delicious though. And what do you got?
I'm just rocking a 12 horse over here.
Good old fashioned Jenny 12 horse. Maybe we can get Jenny to sponsor us.
That'd be awesome.
We drink a lot of Jenny.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't have told him I was drinking Disaronno or Disaronno. Should have just lied and said I was having Schorsch beer or something.
Getting that Springbok.
Yeah, get that.
I haven't had that yet.
Is it out?
Yeah, it's been out for a couple weeks now.
It's not spring.
Right? I mean,
let's bring out this. Well,
Punxsutawney Phil said it.
I was just going to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth. I guess spring's here according to the groundhog, so Jenny was ready for it.
Oh yeah.
So, if you're ever in Rochester, go try Genesee beer. It's delicious. There we go. We'll show them that. Maybe they'll pay us. There we go. Perfect. All right. We're going to get into the games. It's time to hit up the actual action itself and let you know what happened if you didn't see it yourself. So, first game, Seattle Dragons at the DC Defenders. The DC Defenders won that game 31-19. Fred, take away.
Well, Brandon Silvers is not the Dragons quarterback that they thought he'd hope to be, that they thought he would be, but Yeah, so the Dragons have some learning to do. They tried a little comeback there and didn't go so well.
The refs even tried to help them out.
Yeah.
They reviewed it, gave them the first down. They still messed it up.
Yeah, I mean, they had lead at halftime, and that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon Silvers, complete mess. I saw him throw one pass early on.
Yeah.
Threw one pass in the first quarter down the sideline, perfect ball, right into the guy's arms. Beautiful pass.
Yeah.
It's like, man. Because I initially thought B.J. Daniels was going to start, because at least he had NFL experience.
Right.
But, here comes Brandon Silvers. All right, he must know something. This guy's played at Troy. I mean, everyone loves quarterbacks from Troy. He comes out there and just, ooh.
Yeah, he has the short pass game, and luckily some of his receivers did the work for him. But
Austin Prohl.
Yeah, and
former Buffalo Bill, right?
I don't know that one.
I think he's a former Buffalo Bill.
It sounds familiar, like a practice squad or like training camp player.
I'm going to let you look that one up, but I'm pretty sure he's a former Bill. Fred's over here rocking the Buffalo Bills jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Or the sweatshirt, not a jersey.
Yeah.
But Austin Prohl had 2 touchdowns, and then another one from Trey Williams, but 2 of 3 touchdowns from Brandon Silvers. Austin Prohl, it was like a goofy throw. Austin was wide open, and he ran for like a 50-plus yard touchdown. Amazing play out of Austin. And then it was a short dump-off pass to Trey Williams, the running back, and he made a guy miss, and he strutted in the end zone. It was more of the playmakers making the plays than Brandon Silvers. Because overall, Brandon did not look like a quarterback. He was off the entire game. You could tell early they were trying to get the ball to Keenan Reynolds, has NFL experience with the Seahawks. They tried getting the ball to him, and he couldn't complete passes.
Yeah.
And ended up being 7 targets, only 2 catches for, I think, like 9 yards. The secondary looked terrible. Blew coverages all game. Made Cardale Jones look like an MVP. And speaking of Cardale Jones, MVP, if you watch the game, Cardale Jones completed his second pass of the game or something, and the entire stadium erupted in the MVP chants. I was what are you doing?
Right.
I think that's another thing that makes me happy about the XFL is I think fans aren't taking it too serious. I mean, I think they realize, it's the first year of this league. We're just figuring it out. Let's have fun with it.
Right.
Cardale Jones completes 2 passes. MVP. Yeah, man. Let's do it. Let's go all out, man. I love it. Cardale Jones, former Buffalo Bill. Take away your DC Defender take.
Yeah, so the DC Defenders definitely look like one of the more complete teams. Offense clearly exploded in the second half with Cardale Jones. So I think this is a little hot take here, is that, I mean, they were chanting MVP for Cardale Jones. Like, Cardale Jones could be the Lamar Jackson of the XFL.
Hot take. Project Codebreaker. Project Hot Take over here. Fred over here with the Cardale Jones being the Lamar Jackson.
I mean, he
did look good.
Scrambling.
Yeah.
He got the rushing yards in there.
Yeah. I don't think I wrote down all of his stats, but...
Yeah, I don't think... But, I mean...
Still a great game from him, though, with 3 touchdown passes, 319 total yards, including rushing and passing.
Yep.
No interceptions, no turnovers. He looked like a quarterback.
Yeah.
He looked very efficient. And he has that NFL experience. I think that played in. I'll say it all season long. I will repeat this every single blog, every podcast. Experience is what's going to win in this league.
Oh, yeah.
Cardale Jones, person with experience, got the win.
Yep.
And I think, I don't know if it's a hot take, but if you want your triple threat, Kahari Lee, Eli Rogers, and Rashad Ross. Best receiving triple threat in the XFL.
Yeah.
No other team will touch that.
No.
The Seattle Dragons had Austin Prohl. That's it. No one else even thought about catching a ball. Maybe that's more of Brandon Silver's fault, but I look at some of these other teams, and they have good tandems, but these 3 guys lit up the stat sheet. They caught everything.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like that's but I think that's the Defenders being a more pass first team than a running team. I mean, their running stats weren't great, so they clearly leaned on Cardale Jones quite a bit.
Got that paper turn. Definitely leaned on the passing game.
Oh, yeah.
And I think from what I was able to hear, the Seattle Dragons have 5 tight ends on their roster. They are wanting to be a running team. Just like the Seattle Seahawks. It must be a city thing. They don't care about, even if they have a quarterback or not, we're going to run the ball.
There you go.
So they got 3 running backs, 5 tight ends, 10,000 offensive linemen. As long as we don't need a quarterback to throw the ball, we're fine. Whatever. Keenan Reynolds 2 of 7. Whatever. That's fine. Figure it out.
Yeah, there you go.
Apparently it was not a winning formula because they lost. And now we are on to the LA Wildcats and the Houston Roughnecks. The Roughnecks take this one 37-17. Fred, initial thoughts?
Roughnecks looked really good. Wildcats, not so much. But, I mean, the thing here, I think, is Houston had 25 unanswered points. So, I mean, yeah. And P.J. Walker just looked really good in that game. And I think he's clearly going to be one of those quarterbacks that is going to stand out in this league. And I think he's going to help this league grow. But, I mean, even the Roughnecks, they were having a field day with running the ball too. Like they're definitely a more complete team. Is the defense great? They're okay. I think they'll get the job done. That first half didn't look good for them, with the Wildcats kind of all over the place with their Princeton boy for the Wildcats. But
good old Princeton boy, I love him.
But yeah, they definitely know how to. They at least made the adjustments and kind of shut it down. And for the Wildcats, and I think the Roughnecks are going to be one of those teams that definitely contend at the end of the season for them.
I'm definitely with you all over on the Roughnecks. I have one concern for P.J. Walker, and yeah, he can definitely throw the ball. 4 touchdown passes. He also ran for a 2-point conversion. But my concern, are we staring at a semi-pro level of RG3?
It's very possible.
This guy took a lot of hard hits.
Yeah,
he was playing with fire. I think he's a young guy. I mean, he looked explosive, but he took some hits. Took a lot of hard hits on some of his runs, not going out of bounds when he's supposed to, not really sliding. He's trying to face up linebackers. If he can survive the entire season, then this team's going to be dangerous all year long. And they have a great running back in James Butler. He looked amazing in the running and catching the ball. And then you got a guy by the name of Nick Holley, who apparently has maybe played in the NFL, I think, before. He had a good chance.
He was a traveling player.
And he apparently broke his back and tore his ACL in like both knees 5 times, and
yeah, it was nuts.
Maybe got shot at some point, maybe lost a limb. Like, I don't know. This guy sounded like he got blown up, but he caught 4 or 5 balls for 50 yards, and he caught one of them like between 3 defenders.
It was
he
nuts.
played really well.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of amazing players, and I guess we got to talk a little bit about the Wildcats. I mean, They did not play well, but they just had the weirdest. I mean, we were at our friend's house, and there was like conversations going on. It was like a little mini, like kind of like a party. And Charles Knopf, the Princeton boy, it was 4th and 6, I believe, from the 36-yard line.
Yep.
The only reason I remember that is because if you punt from there and it goes in the end zone, it comes out to the 35, and that would have been a net yardage of 1. And that's probably the argument Charles, such a Princeton name, Charles from Princeton, he probably took that argument to his coach, and he said, hey, let's go for it. You could see they called a timeout, and he's over there yelling at the coach, hey, let's go for it. I can do it. Let's do it. They didn't do it. Well, they didn't get the first down. They tried for it, didn't get it. And then the next 2 series, this dude named McClendon comes out, throws like 2 passes and gets intercepted. And he comes out in the second series, goes like 3 and out.
Yeah.
And then The series after that, freaking Kickoffs coming back out. He does terrible, like 3 and out. The next series to like end the game, McClendon comes back out. You're in the middle of a game. You can't just be changing quarterbacks whenever you want. This ain't preseason. This isn't training camp. Just because somebody did something wrong doesn't mean you just take them out of the game.
Yeah, gotta give him the game to play through.
What are you doing? Like that was so bizarre to watch because I couldn't hear the announcer saying like maybe there was a reason for it, but he definitely wasn't injured. Mm-hmm. I think he might have been just punished for not making his 4th and 6. That was my takeaway. He tried to convince him to do it. He trusted him. He didn't convert, and he benched him for 2 series. If you want a bright spot for the Wildcats, Nelson Spruce, 11 of 15 catching the ball, 103 yards.
He was really good.
He was great.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Every time someone caught a ball, I just assumed it was Spruce.
Yeah. I mean, most likely it was.
Yeah.
I mean, the couple other receivers they have on the team, 1 or 2 catches, but he was the go-to guy.
Yeah. Number 10 was also really good receiving the ball.
Yes.
But he's also the same guy who lost the punt off his face mask, and then he also like fumbled one of the kickoffs around, and like it came out of his arms and did something weird. Terrible returner.
Yes.
But he was a good receiver though.
Yeah.
He did pretty well. I don't know his name. I'm just gonna say number 10 because I know it was number 10.
I think last name Whitfield.
Ooh, that's why I have a co-host, man. If there's something I don't know, this dude's got it. Whitfield, number 10 for the LA Wildcats. Fred's got my back.
There you go.
And moving on to the next game, Tampa Bay Vipers completely laid an egg against the New York Guardians, 23-3. Now, just real quick for the Vipers here, terrible.
Yeah,
flop.
That's a pretty good
just
one-word assumption
nothing.
right there. Terrible.
If you want a bright spot, I don't know how much of a bright spot it is, but if you want one, their running game was good.
Yeah.
They had Devon Smith, 16 rushes for 79 yards. Jacquez Patrick, 8 rushes for 32 yards. And then when the quarterback Quentin Flowers came in, he had 5 rushes for 34 yards. Good. Okay,
Yeah.
it worked.
They got something going there.
You scored 3 points.
Not a great something, but they got something.
And I mean, I don't know how much hate you can put on the Vipers when the New York Guardians just lit up the defensive stat sheet.
Oh yeah,
You got those stats for me, Fred?
So New York Guardians defense had 8 QB hits, 5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, didn't allow a single touchdown, meaning the 3 points, and a boatload of interceptions.
I think they had 2?
Is it 2?
It was either 2 or 3. I think they had 2 official interceptions. I don't know. I think it was 2. I don't remember, honestly. I'm not going to look it up either, though.
No.
Basically, they stuffed the stat sheet on the defense and absolutely teared apart the Vipers, and they never had a chance. But I want to prove myself right again, just really quick.
Yeah.
Matt McGloin, he has a buttload of NFL experience.
Oh, yeah.
And he won the game.
Yep.
29 of 52, 182 yards with a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown. He didn't score a buttload of points.
No.
I don't know why buttload's a thing now. I'm just saying buttload.
Just like it.
I don't know why. It's just the first word coming to my mind right now. But he was a good game manager. I mean, he let the defense do their thing, and then he didn't turn the ball over and scored enough points, and they won.
Yeah.
That's what you want, experience.
Mm-hmm.
He's not trying to do too much. He gives it to his open guy, and you try to get first downs.
Yeah.
And they did a great job of that.
Yep.
And last but not least, the St. Louis Battlehawks played the Dallas Renegades. 15-9, the Battlehawks win. And what do you got for me here, Fred?
So I got, for the Battlehawks, we got Jordan Teamu. I think we're saying that.
Sorry if Jordan, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry if we mispronounce your name. He's not listening.
Probably not. We got 9 rushes for 77 yards, and in the passing game, he had 20 of 27 for 209 yards and 1 TD.
That's solid.
That is pretty solid for.
I mean, it looks like you would have had a really good game with those stats.
Yeah, but just 15 points.
I mean, and I think it was 6-6 at the half, So
Yeah,
they took the lead in the second half, and they really, air quotes, came alive in the second half. I mean, I don't know how alive they really were. But Matt Jones, running back, 21 rushes for 85 yards, also very good. Quick shout-out to my boy, former Seahawk, Christine Michael, 7 carries, 0 yards, and a lost fumble because he fell down without being touched and just let go of the ball.
Oh, that's awesome.
Highlight play right there.
There you go.
Congratulations. Yeah. That was Pete Carroll's, I think, second-round draft pick.
Oof.
That was one of our second-round draft picks right there. It was great.
Yeah.
Real feel-good story right there. And then for the Dallas Renegades, they were a mess. And they were playing without Landry Jones, which is supposed to be the big story, is Landry Jones reuniting with Bob Stoops, the Oklahoma duo from college. And he wasn't playing, so it didn't work out.
Yeah, definitely.
They had Philip Nelson at quarterback.
Yep, and the Renegade coaching staff was not looking too thrilled about him being out there, but I mean, you gotta coach what you got. You can't just expect one person to be out there. But they definitely didn't adjust very well.
I think they basically tried to instill an offense like the New England Patriots did.
Yeah.
Like a dink and dive, like short passes because of a crappy arm. He was 33 of 42 for 209 yards. Same amount of yards as Jordan, but 13 more completions. I mean,
it's all dink and dunk passes.
Short passes and hope the playmakers make plays.
Yep.
And another thing I was right about, I love being right.
Yeah.
Just former NFL players, the experience, are just going to do better. Lance Dunbar, running back, 5 carries, 27 yards to lead the team, and he had 6 of 6 catches for 29 yards. It's not amazing, but he was consistent. When he was asked to run the ball, he ran it. When he was asked to catch it, he caught all of them.
Yep.
Boom. Lance Dunbar, baby. Another thing I was right about.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, we're out of time for on and off the field for the first week of the XFL. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget about the giveaway. Go follow on Facebook and Instagram. I'm looking at Fred to give me cues here. Facebook and Instagram.
And Twitter.
And Twitter, that's right. And then rate and review on iTunes.
Yep.
I'll be looking for that. And then go to onandoffthefield.com, go to the bottom of the homepage, and send us a little contact email thing. And you can say whatever you want on it. You can say that you love the show, hate the show, whatever you want. But just include, all hail the Jockstrap King, and you will be entered to win one of the 3 prizes. Fred.
Yeah.
Sign us off, man.
All hail the Jockstrap King.